Hi folks, what's up? I am Yan.
I'm Bow. We are back.
Okay, so one subject we would like to discuss now is democracy in Thailand, or what some would call Thai-style democracy. Do you think that the term Thai-style democracy means anything?
There's an interesting observation saying that when you put the word Thai style on something,
Yeah.
you basically delete the word
I
after
see.
that. For example, if you make tell me about a French dish, just the name of one French dish.
One
Maybe
French dish.
Foie gras.
Okay, yeah, foie gras. Not my favorite, but okay, let's go with that. Yeah.
If you say, oh, this is Thai style foie gras,
Yeah.
basically it's not foie gras.
Right.
It's something else. Yeah. If you say this is Thai style sushi, it's not sushi anymore.
Yeah.
It's another dish. So
Yeah.
when you say Thai style democracy,
Yeah.
basically it's
But
not
I mean,
democracy
if you say
anymore.
New York style pizza, it's still a very good pizza. Not the Napolitan one, but still, right? So,
okay. Yeah.
how about Thai style democracy?
Thai
How do you
style
taste it?
university, Thai style democracy.
Yeah.
Oh, we sit in a university. That's why I said that. Yeah, when I see it, it's just non-democracy.
Okay, so to give a bit of context to those who may not know, Thailand was an absolute monarchy until 1932, so it's been like 90 years or something. And in 1932, there was a revolution in which it became a constitutional monarchy, with the king still being the head of state, but the actual governance depending on a government, which
Similar to the British.
Right, right. The thing is
Should
that
be.
the British always had, I mean, not always, but for a long time had elected governments. Whereas in Thailand there has been a long succession of elected governments and military power, with more time of military power than time of elected governments.
I think we have altogether about 24 coup or so.
Yeah, there's
over
a
the last
and each time
80 years.
the military come in place, it's through a coup by breaking the constitution. So there have been a number of different constitutions. There was a satirical article saying, "Hey, from now on, constitutions will be written on pre-teared papers so that they are easier to tear." So
Recycle.
right, it's not like in other countries where the constitution is the most sacred thing that there is, and you never touch it.
Problem with Thailand is that someone would always want to take an easy way out. For
Yeah.
example, there's conflict in parliament, there's conflict, there's economy problem, there's corruption problem, and someone would say, "Oh, this is not working. Let's make a coup."
Right.
And they will claim that the coup will solve all those problems and we start it over again. And that's how we never develop to become a real democratic society, because it is almost like you are a child growing up. Instead of learning your lesson by trial and errors, your parents always come to try to protect you from something, and you never get to learn, and the next time you make some mistake, your parents come to solve the problem again, and you will have to.
It's also that there is a tolerance for coup, because you could say that someone says, "Hey, this is not working, and what I want is for it to be working for the public interest, so I'll make a coup." But it can be like, "Hey, this is not working. Here's my opportunity to make a coup for whatever other reason that I will not state."
Exactly,
right?
exactly, and over again, there are only a few accused for them to make the coup. One is to protect the monarch. Second is to get rid of the corruption. And third is to make peace.
So
for that's
national
the three
unity.
basic reason
The ideal
they
of
use
national unity.
for the coup.
Right.
And one would wonder, for example, in the last coup, when there are some people, many people come to block the election space, and then the election cannot go on, and the army just say, "Okay, we'll come to create peace," instead of coming under the prime minister's order to enable the election. No, they come to take charge and then
Right.
stay on for 5 years and then draw a new constitution that keep him on the post for another 4
Yeah.
years, 8 years.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it may be, I mean, if we look at the history of Thailand and this tolerance for coup, where in other places it would be unacceptable to the public, it may be the fact that because the constitutions come and go, they are not really what matters. They are not the thing that is enshrined. The thing that is enshrined in the Thai system is the monarchy. And protecting the monarchy, as you mentioned, is often mentioned as an excuse by coup makers to do what they do. And it's like there is a conflict of visions between the democratic vision, where legitimacy comes from the people, comes from below, according to the constitution, and the royalism, where the king, of course, is enshrined in a position of revered worship. And that
So basically, they don't put equal weight in the importance of the people or the monarch or the constitution or democracy.
So-
there's some kind of imbalance, and that allow the military power to come and be in place of the government.
The thing is, as long as this conflict is not solved and these two visions are competing with each other for access to power and for the way of life, is it possible to have any national unity?
Yeah, so what would you suggest, coming from a successful democratic country or not?
Well, I mean,
Well, French has its own problem.
France has had its own set of problems.
Yes.
Uh,
But there's the observation that in the whole world, people are moving away from democracy. Like, people have less trust in democracy. They say the whole world is turning right now.
Yeah.
It's like, they believe less in
Well,
democracy. What do you think?
The thing is that democracy, I think, is a fragile system, and there are a number of preconditions for it to function properly and deliver a result that makes sense. And indeed, I mean, the opponents to democracy would say that basically people are not educated enough to cast a vote that makes sense. People are letting their emotions overflow their capability to think, or are not taking the act of voting seriously enough. And I think not all of these arguments have value. Well, the fact that people are not educated enough or are too stupid, well, there are some, but I don't think that's the majority, and I think it's less the case now than ever before. But the fact that people will let their emotions
Well, we all
overflow
do,
their
right?
capability.
I mean, as human being, okay, my background is in marketing also. You know, when you buy anything, you buy a car, for example, very obvious example, you may research a lot, you may think a lot about the reasons and all the factors. But the minute you make decision, it's emotional. Most of the time.
It
So
is.
it's very,
It
very
is, but
human.
there are some filters that you can choose or not to apply. Let's say, imagine you are a trader on a stock exchange, and you're like, okay, should I buy or should I sell now? You will make the intellectual effort of being like, okay, let's get a good analysis of the situation and let's not do something stupid because my own butt is at stake. But
and then
when-
there's a gut feeling, the moment of the gut feeling, right?
But when there is an election, you're like, what the heck, I'm just one voice among millions, and it will not concretely change thing whatever I vote, so why do I not vote for that crazy guy over there, so that so that I say fuck you to everybody who doesn't agree with me. And I think that's probably the biggest problem that there has been. It's like if there is a lot of discontent and a lot of despair, then unfortunately this might be the situation that threatens democracy from delivering good results. I mean, for me, you're right that I am really appalled by some of the people who were elected democratically. You take Donald Trump, you take Rodrigo Duterte, you take Benjamin Netanyahu, you take a number of guys like, I'm like, okay.
A jerk.
well, you know, yeah, they say, hey, you should not dismiss the views of your political opponents. You should try and understand why they casted their votes. And I'm like, yeah, I can try and understand, but in the same way as a psychiatrist would try and understand the patient. Like, what's wrong with them, right? I mean,
but after all, people learn from
Yeah.
their lesson and they learn from their mistake, right? And
Yeah.
that's how human beings evolve, right?
yeah.
But the big question may be, if not democracy,
Yeah.
what other system you think would be working?
Well, certainly
Communism,
not.
like
Well,
in China?
Yeah, in China, basically, it's a one-party state. Communism is just a brand, but when you look at the facts, it's a one-party state where a caste of members of the party are basically electing their leaders, or at least it worked like that until now. But the present leader has made himself leader for life.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
yeah.
think no one can really say what the better system
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Basically.
I'm certainly not in favor of the benevolent dictator coming to seize power and enhancing everything. Maybe it worked once in Singapore, and even then it's debatable.
And you never
but
have the guarantee whether or not you have the right guy, right?
Yeah, and most of the time it doesn't work well. It has to be said. So yeah, the thing is that with the present modern day technology and communication systems we have, we should really look into systems where the debate is not on personalities but rather on issues, and people vote on issues rather than select a guy that they like or that they don't like, a guy or a lady, I mean, that they like or that they don't like. And probably, yeah, it's the representative democracy that I think should be called into question. But I am still very much in favor of the fact that people should vote. People should be consulted.
Yeah, and as long as you want to regard yourself as
Yeah.
a human being that's equal to others.
Yeah.
So why not be more patient with the system? I think democracy is like love. You have to work on it. It's like, it's not perfect, but if you give it a chance, you have to go through struggles and lesson learned, and then keep going with it. It's a journey. Democracy is not a destination. It's the way you walk.
That's a nice way to put it, yeah. Okay, I guess that's it for this segment. Cheers, guys.
See you.